for approval. We won't be passing anything on a nod.
So what's the problem with me being on the committee? I think the problem
I'm
Chair,
asking
is
a
that Councillor
question.
Sadler objects to me being on that
Yeah.
committee.
Well, I to tell you the truth, I'm quite offended by what you said, actually, Christine. If you're questioning my commitment to diversity and the maintaining of
Anston
Anston,
Parish
then
Council, yes.
I took that great exception to that.
So
I
why?
think Councillor Mason was.
And
Councillor Ireland
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to live with it
Well, I will
because
live with it, but
it
I'm
was
just
a
telling you-
question.
I'm just telling you
I just need an answer
I'm just
to
telling
the
you my-
question.
I'm
It
just telling you my
seems strange to
I am
me.
not standing down because I cannot stand down.
Fair enough, Clive.
That's your answer.
But
Okay.
I find it strange.
Let me consider the book. I mean, to a certain extent, I agree with what you're saying. There's people on here, excluding the chairman, there's people on here who I've known on this council longer than I have, who show no interest in forming a form, but suddenly want to be on the committee. Can I suggest to move forward that I don't think we're going to get an agreement on how many or who's going to be on this committee. Can I suggest that this item be withdrawn until we've sorted out the problem of how many people we're going to put on committees and not put on committees? Because I don't think we're going to agree tonight on this. So
No, we're just going to argue all night and waste time. What do you think, Nick?
Well, I think I've got 2 points really. One is that both Clive and Ivan, especially Ivan, is actually chairman of the Open Spaces Committee, and as such, he's going to be involved with diversity anyway, you know, as a part of being chairman of that committee. So why does he want to be on the biodiversity committee as well?
Well, you would have done
Is
it.
my first question. I'm going to finish that.
Yeah, well, you would have done
The second point I wanted to make is that as far as I was concerned, once we had the 6 members, that was case closed. And that's what I've found at all other committees that's been formed. Right? At the last meeting, both yourself and the clerk asked Christine if she had the membership for this committee. She said she did, and in fact, I just watched the video this afternoon just to confirm. She said she did, and she didn't. Then suddenly at the end, Ivan puts his hand up, oh, I want to be on that.
I think what I said is, I think what I said is, who's picked this and why wasn't I asked?
Nobody picked it.
Exactly. Well, sorry, somebody didn't pick it.
Can I ask again, just to try and get moved forward, I'm looking at you, Christine, now. Can I ask that you withdraw this item until we've sorted out the other...
I will withdraw it because I can't see any way forward.
I don't
want to sit here arguing about it all night.
Descending into arguments. We need to start working together rather than sitting arguing across the table. So can I ask if you withdraw?
Yes, I will withdraw that.
Thank you.
Are we going to put it on to...
Well, if you withdraw it as well.
Well,
Is it
what I'm thinking
withdrawn completely or shall we move it until the issue's been resolved?
Because we're going to have to at some time discuss how we're going to elect people onto committees. And once we discuss that, we'll have to revisit the asset committee and we'll have to revisit this committee.
Right.
Hopefully to try and find a way forward.
Right, so at this moment in time we don't have a biodiversity committee. Is that correct, Michael?
We
don't have one.
We have both committees, but we haven't got a membership of either committee.
So does it still exist or not, or what's the position?
Both committees are in this category on the membership, which we're going to have to sort out at a later date.
Right.
Can I just say something? We agreed a couple of months ago that we should have a maximum of 6 members on any. There was actually working groups then rather than committees, but since then we've decided there is no such a thing as a working group for reasons that I find very strange. However, we decided that because of an objection by a member of the audience who said that if there was more than 7 members of a working group or a committee, then they've got full charge of which way any vote goes on the full council because all we've got to do is, when we go to the council meeting, we all put our hand up and vote for it. So therefore, you have to have less than half the total amount, including any,
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what
I
happened to me.
I think,
now we propose to change it again. I think that it doesn't make sense to it.
yeah, what you said about this number of, say, you've got 8 plus people, yeah, I can see the point of that.
Well, it was a member of the audience who said, yeah, actually,
And I can
it
see,
seemed to be a complaint.
I can see the rules behind it, but I don't think there's any rules about having 8 or 9 people on the committee.
There was, we passed it here, so.
Well, yeah, we passed it.
Well, you know, it's
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the only problem that we've encountered in the past is, like say on the finance committee we used to have, is we had to have only 14 members, because if you have all 15 on, it becomes a council meeting. But it worked perfectly well with 14, and there was no objections there with 14 members on that committee.
Yeah, but what I was saying was, Stuart, was that we had a complaint from a member of the board, and I proposed this, that we only have a maximum of 6 to get over that problem. Because we were being accused of having meetings behind plus secret meetings, and God knows what, which when we were.
It's just worth remembering
And
that
that's why I
we went away from working groups on the advice of YLCA.
we did, I still don't see,
And that's the reason we went down that road. Jonathan, last one on this.
you don't have to.
Didn't we just vote about turning over a standing order so we can't consider it for 6 months again? Or do we have to have a majority of 8 to turn over what we've just decided?
What was that again?
Does that make sense?
No,
Can you say that again?
I don't understand what you mean. Honestly.
Can I
But
just...
the item's been
Right,
withdrawn, so...
Can I just
Can we
suggest...
tell them-
No, we're talking about the
Excuse me,
assets now.
Please, can I just suggest the way forward? Michael just said that in the interim, if 8 members want to contact him, or 10 members want to contact him about suspending the 6-month rule, to reconsider it, then they're quite free to do so before the next meeting.
Can we do that now?
We just tried it, it's failed.
You've just voted against
You
it.
just voted against it,
Right.
Yeah.
which was solved.
But what I'm saying is, do we have to wait 6 months again to do the same thing?
Christine's withdrawn this item, and like we said earlier on, we're going to have to put an item on the agenda to discuss the number of people on committees, and hopefully we can come to a consensus that we either leave it to 6 and people drop off, or we're going to have to come to a consensus where 8 people are going to have to overturn it to alter the rule. So we can discuss that at the next agenda item. when we put it on.
Okay, right, I'm going to move on and get on with business, otherwise we're going to run out of time here. Item 11, discuss receive communications received sent out by the Parish Council. No resolution may rule from this item as communications listed below. The person presiding may lay further communications for the Council from information unit not listed. 11.1, letter from resident regarding tree on Anston Village.
Right, can I come in first on this? First of all, if we'd have got the biodiversity group that put the money tonight, this is a question we could have sent for them to say officiate on. I've looked at this and I understand what's going on, and I think the first thing that we need to clarify as a council is the land in question in a conservation area, and if so, what are we allowed to do and not allowed to do?
In terms of trees.
Pardon?
In terms of trees.
In terms of trees. Can I suggest that this comes back at a later date after, I mean, I think we're going to have to ask the clerk to write to RNBC.
It's already happened. We've been contacted, waiting for information
So-
on all this range of
So
issues on the green, so we're waiting for them
right,
to come
so
back.
is RNBC going to come back and tell us if it's a conservation area? And are they going to tell us what we can and can't do?
You've got a map,
We will
Stuart.
ask-
Can I?
Can I just...
I see that.
Excuse me, we're waiting
There's no
for
question,
the
it's a
microphone
question.
update. We're asked home to see our administrator this morning. She sent a series of emails to all of the council, planning, etc., outlining what's happened, and she's awaiting response from them, a definitive plan, etc., etc. So once we get that, we'll
Can
bring it
I-
back to council and
can I-
clarify the
So I'm
situation.
going to propose...
I just want to bring Jonathan.
It's just, this is specifically about this tree. I've been up to the green and spoken to the people on the green.
Sorry,
And
I can't
the-
hear you, Jonathan.
Carry on.
Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Right, I've been up to the green and spoken to people who live on there, which really should speak to the people on the green about the green. And the tree in question, I believe, was up against the wall on the
Yes, it
wall side.
was.
That tree was not cut down by the parish council, it was by one of the residents.
Excuse me.
So,
Information from.
Where have you got that from?
Can you remind councillors to direct comments to themselves as well?
I'm just going to...
And that was speaking to the people on the actual green itself who live there,
Oh dear.
which I believe was really good source.
That information is wrong. They're obviously telling me about the wrong tree, because I was actually there on the day. I was telephoned by an irate resident and asked to go and have a look. I went and had a look, and it's not the tree you're talking about. Can I propose that these letters be put on hold and brought back to another meeting when we've got all the information from INDC?
Well, the response should have gone off. To
Yeah,
the sender of the
what I'm
letter,
saying,
just saying
proposing
we
that
should
these
make-
letters come back
Oh,
with the
yeah.
information.
Well, they'll not be, they will be brought back when we get that information.
That's what I'm
But
proposing.
we'll be waiting for that to come back from RMBC.
Yeah, I'm proposing that.
Okay, so we will have, sorry, Drew, go on.
Could I suggest that you amend that to send a holding letter to the residents, just to make sure that the
It shouldn't be,
residents...
if it's not got, it's on its way.
I'm quite happy with that. We need to do that in the meeting.
Yeah, but as I say, we're waiting for definitive answers on all of that area from RMBC. Jonathan, last word.
Yeah, just if I'm correct about the tree, which one is it? Actually, just so I know myself.
It's one next to a telegraph pole, I think.
Yeah.
Went up to where the wires were.
Yeah, that's fine.
Next to the wall.
Not only was there a witness who was...
No, I'm not excusing that, I quite
Which
believe
was
what
photographs.
Councillor Thornton said anyway, just clarifying which tree it was, that's fine.
We-
End of
Can
my question.
I suggest when it comes to reviewing, we need to be a little more thoughtful in what people say to us. What I'm trying to say is don't believe everything you're told. Try and get information from more than one source, because it tends to them to show the truth of.
Is that that's to me?
That's-
Oh,
No, I'm just talking in general. I'm not directing anything
Right,
else.
we're going to move on.
Just talking in
So
general.
we've received that letter and it will be brought back. 11.2, email from resident regarding Longwood Avenue play area. Again, presumably you'll see this.
Can I come in on this one as well?
Yeah.
Right, just a couple of points before we go to the letter. First thing is, the gentleman says, I've already sent an email on this subject around 6 weeks ago and still haven't received a reply. Is that not true?
I can't remember.
No, you can't believe everything that people tell you, can you?
Well, no, you can't. Well, that's being flippant, isn't it? I wasn't being flippant when I made my comment.
I was, okay.
Well, you also should apologise, shouldn't you?
Oh,
Come on, Stuart, let's move on, please.
We're not going to have this one rule for one.
Everybody be sensible, please, come on. Let's have an outbreak of...
Are you sure? Are you saying
Sense.
that you can't remember seeing a copy of the scene?
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Right, well, the thing is, with the reply, from when you sent this email to receiving a reply again, was another 10 days. Right, so that's the point I read there. The other thing is saying, I have two issues. The area for smaller children is very dated and recently almost condemned. Is that true? Was it almost condemned?
I don't know what almost condemned means. It's like being slightly breaks. It's a strange... Yeah, so Mike was saying this had £50,000 spent on it 6 years since refurbishing. Was that money we got from
Is any parts...
sorry.
But what date is this? This is 30th of October. Is there any parts that are damaged or not working at the moment?
I presume it's been inspected on a regular basis, Michael, do you know that? So therefore, the inspection should say that it's fit for purpose, it's not been condemned, is that right?
There is one, or there was one part, but there was one piece of equipment waiting for a part. I assume that's it.
Okay.
Right, so that, when he says it was recently almost condemned, he may have a point because there was a broken part and that might be what he's referring to. It says, compared to the playgrounds in the area, it falls well below par. Are there any plans to update this facility? Well, I would say no. But if it is well below par, do we need to be looking at it and doing something about it? And secondly, the amount of dog mess is outrageous. I appreciate not fault there are bins, but perhaps more signage and enforcement may help. Can I just say, I forgot who told me that, but somebody's told me that as of the, was it you, Chris?
I met the dog warden on the recreation ground a couple of weeks ago.
And the dog warden, I believe that as of the 1st of December, if anybody's out walking the dogs and they're not carrying bags, they'll she's shaking her head.
No, it's something that we have to take up with the dog wardens, but they're reluctant to do it at the present time because their jobs are not secure. They will know in December
Right.
if the jobs, that's why I've not been able to take anything
I think there are only
forward.
2 for the borough.
Sorry?
I think there are only 2 for the entire borough. Dog wardens and one at Fair Travel, is it? Did it Fair Travel you spoke to?
No, I spoke to Andrea, I think her name was.
Oh, I saw Fair Travel a few weeks since and she said they were
Yes,
they just seem to have enough time to do
the
it.
jobs are at
But the
risk.
jobs are at risk
Yes.
under the budget.
So they're not willing to
No.
take on any suggestions.
Yeah, there appears to be some new bylaws coming in that after the 1st of December. I'm saying appears because I'm not 100% sure. If you walk the dog without a bag, you may well be open to them. Again, I'm saying I'm not sure, so we'll leave it at that.
No, it was in the last magazine
Yeah.
from the Yorkshire Associations that a parish council has adopted these
Can I
measures.
Can I suggest we write back to Mr. Brass? Tell him that, saying that the equipment's inspected regularly. We'll ask who would be the relevant person, will it be the workers or would it be need to some of us to go look at the conditions, see if it needs refurbishing or improving?
It's got to be whoever does the checks.
Right.
On that refurbishment of the council.
But I think you're talking about condition, I think.
Right, the inspector every week, which one of the council workers are, what I'm saying is, if this gentleman said before well below par, well, somebody really needs to have a look and see if that's true. And if it is,
Well, that's a subjective view, isn't it?
well, yeah, but I'm saying if somebody else thinks that, then, right, I'll go and have a look. I'll go and have a look and see if the equipment needs. It's all right.
You've got to be authorised. Yeah, you've got to be authorised to go and visit.
I'm trying to find a way through it. We can put items in front. Right, so I'm proposing that we write back to Mr. Brass and we say that we agree with his points. What was that?
If mentioning names.
Well, it's Mr. Brass. You can mention Mr. names. There's no law against it.
Go on, carry on.
It's not as though we talk about confidential items. The public documents these items. Right. In fact, no. Do what you want. Every time I have to make a suggestion, I've just been stopped, so somebody else can make the proposals. I propose that people have noticed your.
The ground workers check it every
Is the
week.
council quite happy for the council don't to be that?
Yes.
Yes, I think it's a good idea, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Councillors
Oh,
Thornton and Coleman.
I'm not an expert on it.
Can we just take a quick vote then? All
Can I
those in
just,
favour?
just
Sorry,
before we
Councillor, go on.
vote, wouldn't it be better having somebody who has children to take the children
Well,
and get a child's view?
Why is it?
No,
Every
it's
time-
not-
Why is it every time somebody mentions
No, I don't think
You're
that's
against
particularly relevant.
Well, it could be.
Why is
It
it?
seems I actually use that
I think
playground
it's
as well.
quite, you know, I think
Gentlemen, can
Well,
you
I think it's quite
direct
careful.
discussion to the
Well, that's what I was
question?
doing, because I didn't have
Why is it every
5
time
minutes trying
something
to actually
involves me,
speak.
you're opposing it?
Can you direct to the chair, please?
Yeah, we're going to start having some serious conversations on this.
Do it.
Every time I
Do it.
Not comply with standing orders, I don't want to
Drew.
You're entitled to your opinion, it depends whether you're being vindictive.
Drew, you want to speak?
No, I just have a point of order. It would be appreciated if people would be quiet.
Come on, can we just have a
Yeah,
proper discussion about this? We've had a suggestion that councillors Thornton and Coleman visit the Lockwood Avenue recreation area and report back with what they think is wrong with it. I'm just trying to work the way through this. And I presume at some point in time we'll have to have a professional inspection of it.
Just take some photos.
Take some photographs and bring it back.
Take some
Clive.
Then we can have a look at it. Sorry, Christine.
Uh, would you like to contact the dog warden, or I will, and ask her to try and patrol the area? She didn't even know that our recreation ground existed till I spoke to her, so maybe she doesn't know Lockwood
I spoke to
exists.
Faye Drabble,
Yeah, it was Andrea Bowler I spoke to.
well, I spoke to Faye Drabble and I told her about the house and she was aware of it, so obviously it depends which is working,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
area.
yeah.
But I will
Yeah.
contact her.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Can I just go in there?
Sorry, mate.
Did we vote, Clive, on? Sorry, mate, I'm going to see.
Can I just say that we've got a budget meeting coming up? Can we, the gentleman has requested we put some more signage up. It's not going to break the budget for a few signs, extra signs.
Signage is in the budget.
You know,
It's a budget item, anyway, signage kind of. Yeah.
Keep the gentleman happy on that respect.
Yeah, sorry, Mike said actually the dog wardens do that, not. It's
Well,
down to-
well,
I'll ask them about that. Have a look up there. Okay, where are we?
Right,
Sorry.
have we agreed to vote on that?
Yeah, can we just vote on that then? The councillors come and those and do a site visit
Did you want to
to
speak, Gordon?
No,
recreation area and come back, take some photographs and bring them back to the next council meeting. Everybody in favour of
I'll
that?
make a report, right?
Okay, right, thank you. Gary.
Right, the next thing is, we need to reply to this gentleman, surely, he's taking the time to write to us, we should take the time to write.
No, it's mine.
Could I
Your
suggest
hands
that
up.
Councillor Ireland probably
It's
proposes that
mine.
to reply back to with the wording.
Sorry, do you need
It's
that?
automatic that we reply anyway.
Does that need seconding or?
No, we should reply automatically. Mrs Moore's replied already
That's
on the
fine.
9th of November, and we'll get her to, the letter, the email is over there on the 9th of November. I mean, she's busy up to 5th or 6th, so that probably means it might not get returned so quickly. So she can update you on what we're doing from the analytic, and then we'll, from the point of view of any funding, I think the only way we're going to get that done is by grant funding from somewhere. It's not something that we can actually.
There is funding now.
It's just fine. That's an issue I want to bring up at the budget meeting anyway. Okay, can we move on to the next item, which is all the page, isn't it? Letter from resident regarding the budget. From Mike, everybody got any comments? I think we
I'd like to
acknowledge this.
I thought you said you declared an interest.
I've declared a personal interest, but I'm still allowed to speak.
The reason I was going to say that, I'm sorry to talk over this for a second, Stuart, is because it seems to me that part of this letter was an attack on a councillor. Rightly, wrongly, I think some of the information there is wrong. And really, it's sort of mixed in with some comments that are sort of digging at the Parish Council, digging at individuals, and I'm not really sure we can discuss this rationally, properly across this table like this.
I agree with you. I think we can discuss it rationally because, again, we've got things put in letters. The last letter came from this, I'm assuming this is from Mr Thomas. The last letter we received was from Mrs Thomas on the same vein. I think we should go through this because there's things in there that are not true. Now, it's all right, Ivan.
Say they're not true, Stuart, we know that.
It's all right, Ivan, saying don't do it, but what you're doing is you're accepting letters here, and because they're a little bit controversial, you're just pushing them on the table.
No, I'm not, Stuart, because it's
The
giving...
facts are untrue, we should stand up and address them.
Stuart, it's giving people an opportunity to attack councillors. In return, something said back, and then it's just tit for tat and tit for tat, and we're not getting anywhere.
Again,
I know it's not true,
right.
Stuart. You know
I'm
it's
not
not
prepared
true.
to sit here having personal attacks on me from people who don't even know what they're talking about. And especially when he says we should be disbanded. I would suggest we look at becoming a joint parish council. There's things in here that I would suggest have been said by other people around in the public domain. When he turns around and says that I'm costing this council money, I assure you I am not, and I'm going to Rotherham to address the issue. But I'm now starting to get to the point where I feel I'm being personally attacked by certain people of the public and contractors, and if it persists, I will speak to
Yeah, come on, Stuart.
If he keeps pointing the finger at contractors, you need to get the solicitor, not us.
Please, will you
Don't think you can't afford to to do it.
Kevin,
I'll tell you
Kevin,
now.
please, come on.
He started it. He started it.
I know,
talk to a councillor.
I know, I'm on every, come on, look, can we just stop this?
He started it. We sat here and said nothing up,
Come
man.
on,
Until he wants to get his broad contract, he's into it again.
please, please.
His broad contract is into it again. We haven't said a word.
Kevin,
Ladies and gentlemen. Get the reaction you want.
Kevin, just be quiet.
You are
please.
supposed
Let
to show
Councillor Darmy
respect to
speak.
everyone. Without
I
putting-
should
You used to sit here mouth in the ball.
Second point of order.
Shut it.
Direct
Yeah,
your
yeah.
questioning to the item under discussion.
You send all solicitors.
Please,
You shouldn't be making threats
please,
to council.
come on.
Nobody's going to threaten
If you can, if
You send all solicitors. You
Kevin, look, I'm not going to close the meeting, you're not going to win, none of you.
Yeah, but we can do it. Meeting's live.
Come on,
No, wait a minute. We've sat here all evening and not said a word about
I'm
anything.
afraid,
Not until he started.
will you please?
Until the bullet started.
Kevin, please, would you please stop?
You're right, Tony.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
wasting
what,
your time. This council
I'm
won't
gonna-
do it for you, minute.
I'm going to suspend the meeting for 5 minutes, and if it doesn't calm down, then I'll be, well, I'm not going to shut it, because I don't think,
No, you should definitely Clive. No, I agree with you.
I'm not going to shut it, because I won't get through the business. Anybody that carries on,
Have you
I'll
closed
chip
it?
up.
Have you closed it?
Anybody, no, I haven't closed the meeting. Anybody that carries on like this, I will call the police and I'll have them taken out.
Including council.
Anybody that breaks through, yes, anybody.
I'll tell you what.
Just let them carry
You
on.
couldn't get
The meeting's suspended for 5 minutes, thank you.
ridiculous. He
Come
started it.
outside and calm down and either come back in a proper
No, he started it.
or don't.
Even I've been telling you not to go.
Councillor Thornton's elected member has a right to speak. The public don't have a right to speak at this point in
I
proceedings.
said no to my 5 minutes.
They were making an
Can I
attack, a personal attack.
No, but I'm on camera, what I'm, everything I say is there for the public to see.
Where did you need it from? I have got it.
Good night, everyone. Good night, God bless Gordon.
Regardless of what I
Good
say,
night, Fran.
regardless of what I say, it continued for another 5 minutes.
It should be everything.
No, that's a performance waiting.
Written questions.
But I can't, but the
Oh, you look, okay.
You're saying I'm causing the problem. I'm not. The problem is people around this table won't stand up to the bullies that sat there bullying councillors. And as long as you're not going to stand up to it, you're going to get it at every single meeting.
It's what we want.
Yeah, that's what we want. But that's what I'm saying is, if you don't stand up to them, they're going to do it to you at every single meeting. That's why
Can I-
you're
I just ask members to please get themselves under control? The members of the public still in here, we're not setting a very
Yeah. Yeah. I think they need somewhere or some opportunity to voice those opinions legitimately and quietly, not shouting at everybody. So the thing to do, if they disagree with something that Stuart said, they ask a question at the next meeting. Yeah, that's what they need to do.
Common sense is a probably
I despair. I really do. I mean, it's that.
They've achieved exactly what we wanted.
I know. But you
several people say I want to go to the
I can't. I'm struggling to do both as well. And do it properly. And that's no problem. I'm talking about honestly, I'm like, it's not. It's not. Through items tonight. I thought we spent a lot of time planning applications.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Now, I said somebody might have an objection. The entire thing is a nice proving it is a problem. Not so much how we work. Nine houses there, probably 2 or 3 cars each was in and out 2 or 3 times a day. That's like, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. You've only ever had one member carry up you used to walk from the to True, that was marginal, or you walk around the corner to his shop. And it's like, ridiculous, absolutely loose. I don't know who's gone and who's stopped it. Quite frankly, I asked police. I asked them to go back at night, please. Somebody else to go to. But we're about 3 items from end of his.
I know, I thought we were going to do it.
I didn't. I thought we were getting there, allowing enough people enough time to debate and discuss stuff, but we're not.
Well, half of the problem is we harp on about a lot of items, and then we harp on about them for 10 minutes, and then we move them to another agenda. Anyway, what's the point of that?
Well, that's I don't agree with that.
It's ridiculous. It's almost like we don't want to finish a meeting.
No.
It is. I thought all of
I
them.
loved it. I looked at it when we went last week and I thought we'll get through this in an hour and a half.
I thought exactly the same as you, and then you can talk about something constructive, can't you?
Exactly.
This is a two-way street.
I think it's something like that. It was going to be a little touch.
Well,
That's I know. Either that or whatever, we don't start again. Yes. I dread things we're not getting anyway. Well, I hope if we don't.
I've not done anything. No.
Right, all right.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've just had to prepare for those got a lot on it is on the agenda.
Yeah, do you speak at the same rate? So
No, that's fine. Nothing to do with it. No, that's fine. No, that's all right. Jonathan.
Oh, that's fine.
Right, anybody? Drew? Are you? I'm going to suspend
At least share your mints with everybody.
and go into
At least share your mints with everyone.
No, you know what? Sorry, mate. It's a tough me, don't I?
Sorry.
I'm only joking. You have to Is that on? No, I haven't. I'm trying to feel all week. Oh, I haven't got REMS. I know. Man flu as well. And I'm still. I got up at 2 o'clock and I was there till 4, coughing my bloody lungs. Anyway.
Right, get Jonathan sit down and we'll start. Thank you. We'll start again. Right, thank you. Reconvene the meeting. I'm now going to close the meeting. And go to public session for 10 minutes. And then we need to, that's it. And then we need to extend just to get into the items that are being excluded from the public. So we're going to
Clive, can I just clarify something? The stuff we've not done, what's going to happen to them?
Next agenda.
Will they come to the top of the agenda?
Yes. Right, I'm going to adjourn the meeting, note that the public raise any issues regarding today's meeting. No resolution may be moved on this item. This section is limited to 10 minutes.
With regard to Councillor Thorne's proposals, surely if you do encourage members of the public to participate and they do so in a civilised, constructive manner, it can only be a win-win situation.
I agree with that.
Totally agree with you. That's how it should be. Going to the standing orders, that's how it should be.
And with regard to the dog fouling, which is a contentious issue with myself, and I've had this on many occasions with what I have to I found that the majority of dog owners are responsible people. It's just one or two who will not conform. And it's a pity these few people cannot be identified and made public and be prosecuted for it.
I'll just add a bit to that. I think what will happen, I don't know whether you've seen the press and whatever later, but people have been prosecuted rather than for fly tipping, and they've been fined really large amounts of money. And I think that's the way they're looking to do it again. Because dog fouling is a horrible thing for everybody concerned. I hate it. But obviously, that's something that the Borough Council's got to look at with the budget, because as I said, there are only 2 dog wards to cover the entire area. 10, 15 years since there were 4, and they had a van each and whatever equipment, and they did a really good job now, but obviously they're stretched to cover all the green areas that we've got and that they can sort of patrol. So it's not easy, but as I said, I think what they're looking to do is more enforcement, but obviously more enforcement means more bodies and more power. Now whether that becomes a major issue, you know, a priority, which I would hope it is, because I think litter and dog fowl and everything else and just a general, you know, mess in areas, it's not, it don't make people feel any better, it don't look good in their communities, does it? But it's something, as I say, that they'll have to look at when they set the budget and what money they've got available for that. So the only thing I can do is, when I find anything out, I'll try and bring that back. But I would hope that they don't cut the service any further, because if you've only got 2, to take it to 1 is not, and then the only other option is outsourcing it if you bring. But I've got many other companies that do things like that. You know, they're few and far between.
Well, it's nigh on impossible, because that land that I maintain aside of me, I'm living at the side of it, and I still cannot find the people who are letting the dogs foul it, because when I'm about, they're all good, responsible people. So it must be early in the morning or late at night.
It usually is.
Sorry, I didn't realise you had
I was going to say, is it not the case that, I hate to mention it, and God knows how they do it, but is it not on the job specifications for the gardeners and the gardener and having person?
Not allowed. Not our land, sorry. We can't do it.
It's not our land.
No.
Clive,
Sorry.
is it part of the ground workers? Do the ground workers clean up on the green?
Yeah. No, I would think that that's clear before they mow it. I would go to when it's obviously.
So you don't know?
I don't know. I mean, it's something we need to look at.
Yes, you need to find out.
Well, it is an issue as to whether it's like litter picking, isn't it? They cut the grass now, all the litter gets chopped up, but nobody, because they've not got enough staff, they don't follow along picking it up and tidying up afterwards. So you get a grass cut, but then you get 50,000 pieces of litter that's chopped up by the flails or the mowing machine. So we've got to have the two going together, which, as I say, we can only do it on our land accounts. And we're So I mean, it's something I'll, as I say, I'll try and take it up with the Fair Travel and see what their sort of hours are and areas and things like that. It's also been a bit of a contentious issue for the last few years, hasn't it? Like driving down at Bluebell Wood and areas like that, but it was a big issue trying to get that
business.
Yeah, so we'll have a look at that.
They fixed it at Bilbao Wood, didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah,
Putting notices out.
Yeah. Sometimes that's maybe a
Yeah.
solution, you know.
Could we put some on the recreation ground?
We've looked at it. Are you talking about down here or a lot?
Yes, I'm talking about the recreation ground at the
But,
back.
I mean, the same applies. Let's say Lockwood is collected by the borough, isn't it, I think. They're red bins, aren't they? Yeah, so with the red bins, it's a borough collection, and they were the ones that put notices up there. So I'll say I'll speak to her about it. Here, I think we can put Matt, I think it was Matt Finn that gave some information on that. But again, I'll try and get, if I can get some replies, I'll send it out to you and let us all go with it. Yeah, sorry, Dave.
I was wondering, of course, it's gone now, Councillor Jepson, but does anybody know when the meeting is to bring up any queries or, you know, whatever happened on tonight? I've had an email about a meeting, you know, about bonfire night.
Yeah.
To say what happened, what could be improved, stuff like that.
Oh, the debriefing meeting, yeah, I'm not sure.
Debrief for the bonfire?
Yes, that's correct.
That's, I know what you mean now, David. I'm not sure. I'm going to ask Mike, do you know when Siobhan? I know Siobhan's organised.
What Ivan said, Siobhan was trying to organise a debrief, and she didn't know whether to have it at night or during the day. And Ivan was saying probably better during the day because the contractors probably be able to attend. But I don't think there's been any definite time or date decided at the moment when we're going to have the debrief. Do you have access to email?
Yes, I do, yes.
If you've got any burning issues, if you email the office, you can get the email off the clerk later, you can email Siobhan, and then if for any reason the debrief doesn't come off, at least you've got your points put forward. That helps.
Yeah, if you send her your email, and then she can contact you if you want to come to that meeting.
Right.
Come in.
Could you
Sorry.
thank you, Stuart, for his input?
No, that's fine, thank you.
Thank you.
Come in.
If you've got a problem with dog bins, how come we've never had one on Front Walk for the last 5 years, and yet dog walk seems to go in bins down here and you collect it, but yet everybody seems to think it's only these red bins that are being used for dog walk. And I also noticed up on Small Park up here at North Anston, Whitegate. I also noticed on Whitegate that they've got a dog bin there that ain't red. It's a multi-purpose bin.
All right.
Well, what I will do, see, it's obviously an issue, and we had this a few years since we had the borough work. We had the borough thought they were ours, and we thought they were theirs. I think they weren't getting collected for ages, but they were some of the areas down there. And certainly, ordinary rubbish bins, yeah, they were putting stuff in, they were all sorts of them. So when our staff were emptying them, they got all dog waste in, which is not very.
They still have it, bro.
Are they?
Them bins in front are actually used as though they're a multi-purpose waste.
Yeah, and recently I've had an issue with a red one on Lakeland Drive that had been empty for about a month. I think it was absolutely
It is a big issue.
The seams. And what I will do, I'll raise it with Street Pride officer that deals with it and see if we can find out something, because I'm not sure sometimes the left hand knows what the right hand's doing, and it's something that nobody wants hanging about for ages.
Can I ask?
I know Siobhan's reported that one down at Brook because tanker that empties or cleans tanks out in pumping station inside, their tanker hit it and they smashed it, but that was about 5 years ago. But I know Siobhan's contacted Rotherham to have another one fitted down there.
Well, she normally, if it's a borough council issue, she normally copies me in, so if I can do anything about it, then I try and...
She has, I think there's a date for him to come and fit that one at the beginning at Brook.
Yeah.
Can you ask how much they cost to install them bins?
Yeah.
They won't install them.
They won't do it.
They'll put that out to them.
They've only got manpower to empty ones they've got. It's like grip bins.
So if you were to request more bins, it'd be a waste of time requesting them.
Yeah.
Who pays taxes for?
Well,
went to £400. But they stopped that about 2 years ago because they haven't got the manpower to do anymore.
Right, I'm going to suspend standing orders now for, yeah, can I ask, what do you want, 15 minutes? 10 minutes? We don't need to deal with one item. Can I ask, I'm just going to, I'm going to suspend standing orders.
Can I propose that we... Yes,
I know, I've seen it.
Can I propose that we suspend standing orders for 15 more minutes?
Yeah, 25. Yeah, everybody in favour of that? We could hopefully not take that one.
Second.
I'll second. Or Drew. Right, carry on. Kevin.
I'd just like to know, when we sit here as members of the public, why that we're attacked as contractors by a council. And this council, for more than one occasion, has seen it happen and quite happy to accept this. And then we get blamed for causing the trouble. A few meetings ago in here, the said council actually walked up to us in here when we were sat in here, which I reported to the clerk, I reported to you, and actually says to us, you want to be careful what you say because you're council contractors. Well, I'm not going to be bullied.
Well, that's a lie.
Please, come on.
Councillor Ireland stood there when you said it.
That's a lie. That's a lie. But you forgot to mention that you threatened to put me on the floor twice, did you not?
No, I did.
In front of Councillor Ireland. You witnessed it.
Can I just finish?
Councillor Ireland witnessed it.
I'm speaking in the council.
I'm trying to get everybody to stop because I can't listen to two conversations at once. I just want both of you to stop and just draw back a bit. Drew, do you want to speak, please?
I think it's now clear, actually, to me as a new councillor, and I'm sure to other members, that I think this is a personal disagreement, and I think it's a personal disagreement that dates back some time. I don't know the details of it, but I will say to all parties that I'm not interested in it, and I don't think the other new councillors are interested in it either. If any member of this council behaves inappropriately over the course of the next few years, then rest assured that I think the rest of the council will deal with that as and when it arrives. But we don't have any interest in a feud between members of the public and existing councillors where it doesn't impact the business of the council.
Thank you. Thank you for that comment.
Well said.
Right, I'm going to close the public session now because we're not going to achieve anything more. We've had 10 minutes, haven't we? We're going to move into private and confidential just to discuss the one item. So if members of the public, thank you for your attendance and we'll move into.
Thank you for a good meeting.
Thank you. Right, cheers.